didn't see you there. I'm out at the free indoor skate park in South Haven today, trying out a new theory that I have. I was able to pick up a lumbar support thingy, and I wanted to see if using something that would keep my back straight would help improve my form. This is going to be a very, very simple experiment. I'm really just going to see if this is going to help me approach better, land better, and ultimately just have a better form on top of the grind. I've wanted to know for a little while. This isn't the exact one I was thinking I was going to try. This one is for the lower back, for lumbar. I was thinking it'd be good for me to try the one that pulls your shoulders back, but I'm going to have to find one of those at some point. So I figured it'd be fun to try this today. So I'll quick show you what this thing does, but I'm going to see if it makes any difference to my skate session today. So come along. Okay, putting on the thing. Still here. I'm glad. This session went great. I did notice that this lumbar support brace didn't prevent me from bending my back the wrong ways. It did remind me to keep my back straight and keep my knees apart so I could dip my hips lower, but it didn't force me to do it like I was kind of hoping, to be honest. I was hoping it was going to make it next to impossible for me to punch, but I think that's going to be the shoulder adjustment one. So one big caveat I did notice though is I do feel like I'm a little more anxious throughout the session, and that's just because there's so much pressure on my abdomen, which is definitely interesting. I'm going to have to see if that becomes persistent, because it's definitely not going to be something I want to continue doing. Being anxious during a skate session isn't fun. So I did find it was making things like the backside harder. It's nice because since I was focusing on keeping my shoulders back, obviously I was on top of the obstacle, but that made me lean into my wheels, and I haven't really found a good center for that, but I was able to find a good positioning for a topsole on that ledge that I've never done that on before, so that's a good one. I do feel a lot more confident in my jumps, a lot more confident in my landings, so that's nice. My ultimate goal though is to not have to use this thing. My goal is to use it enough that maybe I train myself to think about my form more often, because if you want good form, you want good style, you have to think about it. So I will see you at the next session. All right, I am back for another session at Truth. It's been about 2.5, 3 weeks since my last skate session, so today what I'm gonna do is skate without the back brace. And that is not because I forgot it, absolutely not because I forgot the back brace. Really, I just wanna give you a visual difference between the first session, this session, and then I'm gonna put it on again for my third session, and we'll see truly if there's any visual difference, and then I'll talk about my experience with it, and if it helped my form or my style at all. So let me warm up. Okay, stall practice went a lot better than I was expecting. I haven't done a top pawn or a sweat stand stall on a quarter pipe in a long, long time. The top pawn felt great, sweaty not so much. I can't get my hips to work with that trick well, and I also hunch over the coping way too much to be able to lean in. I just don't have the range of mobility I need for sweat stances yet. That being said, good transition. Without the back brace, I'm noticing I'm punching my back a lot more, and I'm struggling really hard to keep my back straight as I approach the trick in my actual lineup of doing a trick. And then to touch on something I talked about last time is I felt like the belt was giving me anxiety. Now I have diagnosed anxiety, but the pressing on my abdomen from the belt definitely induces more anxiety in me. So while I feel like I'm struggling to focus on my form and I'm forgetting, because I'm kind of just going with the flow, I'm having a good time, that form goes out the window. I'm not paying attention to my form, I'm not paying attention to my back, I'm just skating. When I have the back brace on, I am constantly thinking about my form. And I think that's overstimulating my brain a little bit, which is also helping make the anxiety worse in that last session. But it's an interesting caveat, you know? Didn't really think about that one. So I'm gonna switch over to the rail, do some grinds, and see how different my form looks between having a back brace and not. Lead session went well. I feel like I have more range of motion without the back brace, which makes sense because the back brace quite literally limits your range of motion. But I do feel like I'm locking my tricks a lot more solid and I have a lot more connection to it. Like I just feel more balanced on it because I'm not focusing on my back. So it's continuing to ring true that the back brace is nice for form correction in the right context. But if you are hucking tricks, if you're trying to learn new things, for example, obviously you might not want to limit your range of motion because on top of that, you'll also be focusing on that limited range of motion versus actually doing the trick. I am going to get some more footage, but I do think I'm in a good spot to start reflecting on the differences between the two sessions. The first one I felt very limited and I wasn't really pushing myself much. I'm noticing without the back brace, I'm pushing myself a lot more. Now, that means more falls, but it also means new tricks. For example, the Christ to acid. I've never done that before. It's nothing serious, but I just feel more creative when I'm not feeling limited. Makes sense. But like I said, I'm reverting back to the Hunchback of Notre Dame and being a monkey in a barrel with my 90-degree arms. And that solely is because I'm kind of just going for it. So I think it's safe to say if you are focusing on your form, if you have a session where you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna drill new tricks today. I'm not even gonna drill many tricks. I'm just gonna focus on being a better, more controlled skater. The back brace is perfect for that. For anything beyond that, nah. It'll be interesting to see what the third session is like. Keeping all of this in mind, my next session probably won't be as intense, especially now that I know for sure the back brace is really limiting me. But that doesn't mean I'll never use the back brace to practice grinds or stalls, because though I might not be going hammer time, it's super important for me to be practicing just general control. So I'm gonna get some more clips, have some fun, and I will see you at the next session and we will draw some final conclusions.
Dreaming of hearing my songs on your stereo.
for the final session. It's about 20 degrees. I can feel my bones cracking as if they are shattered ice. But that cannot stop the wackadoo. I think this has been a good experiment. I'm excited to see what you think. Please leave any comments if you have any suggestions for what to try next, or if you've got any tips for how to nail down form and style. But for this next session, I figured I'd keep you guessing because I want you, old dear viewer, to feel included in this. So I'm not gonna tell you if I'm skating with the back brace in this session or not. You're just gonna have to watch it and see if you notice any difference at all. But beyond that, thank you for watching and participating in this little thought experiment. I would like to do more things like this just because I'm really interested in the nature of skating, not only as a sport, but how we can do it to improve ourselves as human beings physically and emotionally, but also being able just to chase those sick tricks, bruh. That being said, I'm just gonna start to doing some tricking, skate for about 2 hours or as long as I can in this cold, and I'll see you on the other end. Yeah.
You wanna know where the folks at? It's in the back of my Cadillac. Yo, I don't know what you want from me, but I know that you know that I gotta make it funky. I don't know what you know from me, but I know that I'm rocking in the family. I don't know what you want from me, but I know that I gotta make it funky.
All right, back in the dojo. Thank you for participating in this little experiment. I appreciate you watching. Really, I just want to start diving into what it means to improve my form, because my form honestly is heinous, and it causes me to get hurt more. It causes me to not have as long of sessions as I would like to have. So I'm going to be continually finding ways to subvert that. That includes things outside of blading, like doing yoga and eating better and hydrating properly, all those things. But when it comes down to actual form, you need to be able to focus on that. And that's where I think this comes in handy. This physically did not prevent me from bending forward too much or physically prevent me from just having the wrong form. What it did do, though, is give me a good mental boost. It essentially enabled me to be able to focus on my form while I'm skating. It's something that I really struggle with because I get in my own head, mainly out of excitement. I'm just so excited to either try something new or I'm just happy to be on the blades that I just throw the form out the window. But as someone who wants to improve my tricks and actually be better at skating and to be able to do it for a long time, I need to start focusing on things like my back. I think this was a good thought experiment. I don't think it did exactly what I wished it would have done, which is just fix everything. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. And I think the more that I do this, the more I'm going to realize it all comes down to building that mental fortitude and pairing that with your physical fortitude. Thanks again for being here, everybody. Please comment any suggestions you might have below as to what I should try to improve my form. If you have any ideas that you would like to see me dive into, please let me know. I'm going to try to find one of those shoulder braces next and see if that helps me at all. Because that's the next thing I really need to focus on, is keeping my shoulders back. After that, we'll see what happens. I'm excited to start diving more into the philosophical and wellness side of blading as religion kicks off. We're super excited to share that with you, and we're also super excited to dive into more of the human side of blading. So we'll be doing that here on the Spook Wackadoo channel more and on the religion channel. I will see you in the next one, everybody. Later, bladers.